So Spiro, thanks for being with us today
You're welcome.
and taking us through the top 8 mistakes first home buyers make when buying a property. Number 1, how much can I borrow and what figures and numbers do I need to know?
Look, thanks for taking the time to spend to go through this. Look, knowing your figures is really, really important. And what I mean by knowing your figures is that you need to really understand where you sit financially and knowing what you earn, what your outgoings are, what expenses you have every month, etc. And then taking that information and speaking to either your mortgage broker, your financial institution, or a particular lender to go through the numbers. So by knowing where you sit financially and having the borrowing capacity, it allows you the leverage then to go out into the market to find a property that suits that budget.
Great. And making an offer on a property without pre-approval, could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So when you're making an offer on a property without pre-approval, it's actually riddled with danger. What I mean by that is that you're actually committing to a potential purchase. If you'd signed a contract without pre-approval, then you're legally binded to actually buy that property. So, don't sign any contracts, don't do anything unless you actually have an understanding where you sit financially. Knowing your numbers, again, is very, very important. Once you have the pre-approval in place and you've got the formal letter from the institution or the bank, etc., then you can actually start negotiating or talking to the agent to actually purchase that property. But don't sign anything or make offers until you've got that commitment from the bank.
Great. Can you tell us what mistakes first home buyers make with job hopping?
Look, job hopping is one of those areas that we all go through in our lives where you want to, you maybe not sure about career, etc. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when job hopping is at a time of your life and you're looking to buy a property, it will be an issue. An issue, banks, financial institutions all want stability. Stability meaning that they have a guaranteed income that's coming in, etc. So they know that you can actually repay your debt. So try and have some stability in your employment or your job. That will give you a lot of leverage when it comes to getting a loan in the future.
Great. Can you talk to us about getting emotionally attached when buying a property or when looking at properties?
Getting emotionally attached is one of those funny ones where, because we've all been to either an open or an auction and we start looking at it, we start going, we could live in it, we could see our kids growing up, or we can, everything starts to fall into place, but your emotions can really take over. So, I'm sure we've always heard about a scenario where you go to an auction where the price is set, it's between $510 and $540 or something, and you go, our top is $520 or $530, and you go to the auction and you start getting really excited about it, but then the price starts going above and beyond what your limitations are. You have to be very careful, because going above that means that potentially you won't be able to afford when the repayments are due. So you need to really remove your emotions as much as you can and just concentrate on, that's my budget and that's what I can afford, basically. If it goes above that, just walk away.
Great, good to know. And not doing proper research, what kind of pitfalls can people fall into?
Look, doing your research is important, and I say this is that because it's going to be your home. That's where you're going to be living there. So you need to really narrow it down onto the suburbs you like. For example, start analysing. Are you looking for a 1-bedroom apartment, 2-bed, or a 3-bed, or a townhouse, or a house? You need to start narrowing down what you really want. What's important to you and your partner, to your family, etc. Some people like lifestyle and they want to be around cafes and restaurants, etc. Public transportation. Do you want to be to get accessibility to the city? There's many factors involved. So really it's putting pen to paper and understanding what your needs and wants are, what's important to you, and sticking to those goals.
Great. And knowing who to get advice from, what kind of common mistakes do people make when looking at this situation?
It's one of those, there's a lot of scenarios come to my mind, but there's a couple of funny ones that we've all been to, that that barbecue or that family function, and you start talking about, oh look, I'm looking at buying property, and some of the families and friends say, oh no, don't do that, or the market's this, or don't buy in that area, it's not good, etc. So get advice from people who know property. Get advice from someone or a company that can guide you through the process and what's right for you, not for family or friends. Because at the end of the day, your family and friends can give you advice, but they're not living in the actual property. So it's you will be that living it. So make a list of what's important to you.
Great. And not having your dream home immediately. People obviously get attached to this point, so
Yeah.
maybe shed a little bit of light on not buying your dream home that first time round.
Yeah, no, it's, look, we all have a vision in our back of our minds or in our heads of, a beautiful home one day, it's going to be the dream home. But reality is, unless, and I'm not saying that everyone is in that position, as in some people can buy their dream home now, and congratulations. But for those who are in that position, who are just starting out, you've got a tight budget, etc., you really need to stay in those budgets. A dream home does mean it's going to cost you a lot more because it could be in a different suburb, it's a bigger home, etc. You need to stay within your parameters of what you can afford. It's really, really important. And I mentioned that just before, it's like, if you start going more than your budget, are you willing to sacrifice going out to a cafe or to restaurants or traveling with you by yourself or your partner or even your family? Are you willing to give up any little getaways? Things like that are important. So dream homes can wait. Just focus on the goal of having a new home within your budget just to start or lay the foundations.
Great. And skimming over contracts, this obviously seems like something that people wouldn't do, but you probably find that it happens more often than not. Could you shed a bit of light on that situation?
Yeah. Skimming over contracts is a very silly thing to do. And sometimes we might be in a rush to get a contract in place pretty quickly, or we might have that fear of missing out of, we have to get the contract in because there's some pressure. Have your lawyer review documents. A lot of contracts could have a loophole that you might not be aware of, or there might be something in there that's not right for you. By paying a lawyer to review the contract is probably the smartest thing to do, because they can double check it, make sure you're safe before you put pen to paper. But once they give you the green light and you understand the contract, the terms, then at least you've had it reviewed, rather than just skimming over it at home, signing it, and then all of a sudden you've literally signed something that's not right for you. So yeah, make sure you have a lawyer or a conveyance or someone that can give you proper advice.
Great. Well, thanks for taking us through the top 8 mistakes first home buyers make when buying a property.
You're very welcome. Hope you got a lot out of that.
Thank you.